But daddy is a state of mind, you know what I'm saying? I'm your daddy.
Let's go.
Get up on y'all. You gonna learn today.
Daddy, chill.
Call me Daddy.
We're live. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
this
of course.
is so amazing.
It worked out perfectly. You were here for the show.
Yes.
And you're here now.
Yes, exactly. Any excuse I can get out to Vegas, I'll take it.
Yeah. I think everyone's on board with that, right? They're like, oh, we can go to Vegas? Yeah, we're going.
I'm a little too obsessed with Vegas. It's kind of bad.
For anyone listening, Mary Gamble.
Yes,
thank you for
hi.
coming. Thank you for being here. I appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, appreciate all the stuff you've been working with Fred and running around doing
Absolutely.
stuff with the show and with the at the office and stuff. So Gamble, what's that?
Gamble. I was dating someone
Mm-hmm.
and I was introduced to the hobby through that. And we made a friend group upon seeing how crazy of a community the card world was when I first started about maybe 3 years ago
Mhm.
when I was first introduced to the hobby. And then I see them at shows all the time. And it's this friend group that came out of that. So I was thankful to get introduced to the space through him and also get friends, built-in friends. And I think with traveling so much to shows, it's like going to camp every week.
Yeah.
So I think that part has been so fun because that was the most intriguing part of first learning about the collectible space and then also seeing that I can travel and I can do these things. And the world of collectibles is so passionate. So it was really cool to get introduced to the space like that.
How did you start?
Yes.
What was the introductory to the hobby or even cards in general?
Yes. So
Yeah.
when I started, I actually got woken up in the middle of the night from my ex. And he was like, let's go to the Dallas Card Show. I think he had heard of this card show from his friends, but he had been collecting as a kid and he didn't really know how crazy the space was after COVID though. And we showed up on a whim and fast forward a couple months had passed and I was, the supportive girlfriend at the booth and everything just hanging out. Yeah. And then I ended up just growing to be why am I spending all this money flying out to these shows and all of this stuff and not really learning and deep diving it? I want to be in the conversations and I love football. And I think that was my first intro to it where I was this is so cool. I love the passion for it. I love how crazy the market is and how cool the studying of the market, the COVID jump up and making it a lot more relevant, even though it was already relevant, but growing more awareness for it in a general space, I think, made me super intrigued with it. And because I love anything NFL, I think that was my first in with it. And the easier part of it was that when I didn't know what to buy and I would get all my friend groups questions because I was asking all the questions because it's an endless learning cycle. I was I guess the easiest way to do it is I know my football, I know my players. Let's go and deep dive on the cases, the downtowns and all of that. So I ended up taking my checkout of I didn't have a lot of money to put in the hobby. And I think that's what made it intimidating at first.
I don't think anyone does it in the beginning.
Exactly.
You have no money.
No, I think it is that way. And I ended up just buying an Aaron Rodgers downtown, my first national. I was I'm going to just pull out a little bit of money that I have. I just want to do this on my own. And I was just really wanting to be independent with it. And I didn't know to fast forward to now that it would lead to the buying and selling world and me building my own collection because now I can finally afford it and all of that. And I think that was so amazing. I got to, thankfully, after I had budget cuts at work and I wasn't really happy at work, I got to negotiate 2 months severance and take that check, put it all into cards and try to not look back. And March 1st.
How much happier are you now? I don't know what you were doing before, but I was kind of in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing something that was miserable.
Yes.
Miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Running me out my body, my mental health.
I was in the same boat.
And I found myself just miserable in life. And I'm like, what am I doing?
Definitely.
What am I doing? I'm trying to raise kids. I have a wife. Like, I need to be happy and do something that I love and enjoy.
For
and being around people that are sort of in that same boat as me.
Totally.
So I was like, I gotta go in 100% in this.
Totally.
And just because I was driving 450 miles a day for 5-6 days a week.
Wow.
So I had back issues. I was always tired. I had no time to do anything on the weekends because I just wanted to just sleep or rest. And like my wife would be like, let's go out. I'm like, I don't even want to go anywhere.
Yes. And your thought with that too is like, how can I get out of this? Like, life is too short.
Yeah,
like I want to do something I'm happy, like, or I'm happy with and I'm passionate about. And like to have that like mentality, exactly like you probably working that job, you were probably sitting there driving and you were like, what can I do to like change this?
Yeah. And it actually started, I was driving and like joining breaks. Like in 2019, I was like watching Leighton sports cards and like joining breaks. And, I'm like, man, I love cards. I've always been into cards. And then it just like the pieces fell into place where I started breaking for another company just on the side for like cash.
Yes.
Just like, he's like, yeah, here's $100.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, I just sold like 20 grand in product for you. It's like, you know what? $100 is great, man.
Yes.
I'm having a blast doing it. So yeah, that's, I like seeing and hearing those stories because like happiness is everything for me.
And you probably get addicted to when you were like looking at the streets and everything.
Oh
it's like it's kind of like an addiction.
It is an addiction, and especially driving. I'm like sitting there like trying to drive on the freeway while I'm watching breaks. It's not safe.
Yeah.
But then like I never liked traveling, and then when I got into the hobby, I loved going to shows. I loved traveling, going to Chicago and Atlanta and Dallas. I love the Dallas Card Show.
It was amazing to like just start meeting the community. And I'm sure you had felt the same way where once you start going to so many shows, you get the familiar faces. And so it doesn't feel, even if you're traveling alone, it never feels like you're lonely or anything. Like, I think if you find the right people in the hobby, they invite you out to dinner. They're going through the same stuff and we're all kind of in this together. And I think that growing and realizing that there's no real competition with it. It's just we're all doing the same things and having fun with it was really intriguing to me.
Yeah, I remember in 2021 at the National, Nikki and Mikey from Night and Day.
Yes.
I like brought someone over to him to sell a bunch of cards.
Yes.
And it was a big fucking deal, right? It was a lot of money. And he was like, I owe you one. I was like, dude, I'm not that type of person.
Yes.
Man. I like helping friends.
Exactly.
My big thing is like, I say DTRT, which is do the right thing. Just do the right thing.
That's amazing.
So later that afternoon, he texted me. He was like, hey, let's go to dinner.
Yes.
And this is at the point where I didn't have a lot of money. I still didn't have a lot of money.
Yes.
I was grinding, breaking, doing things. And he takes us to it. He's like, meet us at the steakhouse. And I'm like looking at the menu and I'm like, dude, I shouldn't be affording this right now. And he's looked at me, he was like, dude, everything's on me.
Oh.
Like, I appreciate you. Like, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my God, this is awesome. Like, I'm getting dinners from other dudes.
Yes.
So,
that's the perk too. I feel like all of the card people that I know are very generous to the point where like, it's kind of, you know, the rotation of just a credit card at the table.
Yeah.
It's not like we're all splitting. And not to say like that splitting is bad, but like that's how generous.
Someone always steps up.
Exactly.
Someone's always, I got this one. I came up a few grand today's show. Like, yes. I got this one.
I did good today.
Yeah. I sold a lot of cards today.
Exactly.
That's how it always is.
It really is.
Yeah. Do you enjoy the traveling side? Because you're all over the place.
Yes, I'm all over the place. I love it. I love having a home base in New York City. I'm not there that often, so I do pay a lot of rent with that, but I'm happy to have my own space during the weekdays and have like a home base and have kind of a hub where it's such a large city that it's cheaper flights, I think, in comparison to other cities. So I can just hop on a flight and just be anywhere. And I love the flexibility that being my own boss and getting to travel, because I think I had really wanted this all along. And I didn't travel a lot growing up. So I really was like, I love all of this. And now I'm so grateful to be in the position where I can just choose maybe a show to go to in a city I like, and maybe do the balance of, a sightseeing one day and then the next day, like going to the show and dialing in. So I'm just so thankful to be put in a situation where I can travel, and I'm in love with it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes.
What's your like plan? Like, how do you plan this out? Because you obviously travel all over the place.
Yes.
Are you scheduling these out weeks, months, years in advance?
That's actually a really good question.
Hey, the show, it's Wednesday. I got nothing going on. Like, I'm just going to go get on a plane and go on a whim and just go to the show.
Well, that was me all last year for sure. I didn't book anything out really at all. And then this year, I've been like, we're going to sit with what we got. And we know that it's going to be way cheaper if we book these things further out in advance now. So I've been trying to get more organized in 2026 to go to shows. And I think that also requires me to reach out to shows like in advance if I want to set up, because I want to set up a lot more this year. Yeah. And I was a walker for a year and a half at the shows, just walking around, because
Killer on the feet.
Yes,
Killer on the feet.
You don't really realize how many hours you're there just really frolicking around the entire show.
And then like 8 hours later, you're like, wow, my feet are killing me right now. My lower back. Like, what am I doing to myself?
Exactly. I was getting invited to dinners after, and I was like, I don't even know if I can do that. I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
So
I've always I love walking the shows.
Yes.
But I want to have like a booth to just go back and just like sit down for a little bit.
Like a home hub.
But then I find myself going, fuck, I'm bored sitting here.
Yes.
I don't want to sit around. Like, I don't want people to come to me. I want to go to them.
That was the whole debate for me too. I was like, I think that's why I like it, because I get to see all my friends and then make deals and just kind of hang out and go from booth to booth and like asking people how the show's been going and all that stuff. And so it's such a different perspective being a vendor. But also it's cool to have like a location where you're at for the weekend and people can come say hi themselves. So I think hopefully I'll lean into it more.
Yeah. Do you like the hotel life?
It's depends on the city for sure. I think I do like it though. I feel like I was telling my friends back home too. I was like, I think I've gotten really down pat with the whole packing thing. Like I can throw things into a bag in like my carry-on in like 10 minutes because I've done this so many times. It's a routine now. So that and the hotel life is not too bad.
I hated traveling, and then I got into the hobby, and I'm like, well, I gotta travel.
Yes.
There's no way around it.
Actually.
And now like my wife loves it because she's like, you like traveling now. Now we can like travel. Because before she's like, let's go on a vacation. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to leave. I don't want to fly.
Yes.
I hate the stress. I hate flying. I have anxiety flying.
Totally.
So I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. But now that I'm like forced to fly to these shows and the National and Fanatics Fest and go around the world, go around the country, it's like, now she's like, yes, you enjoy it now. I'm like, it's not that I enjoy it, but it's just like, I got to do it.
Yes.
So,
for sure.
So basically, when you go to these shows, do you have, because I know some people that set up and they're buying and selling, but they have like buyers behind them, like backing them, or people that are reaching out to them and going, hey, these are the cards I'm looking for.
Yes.
Like, go source these while you're at the show. Is that kind of how you were doing the collection side of things and like buying and selling?
For sure. I think as the time has come on, it was a learning process, and I'm still learning to this day. And I think with kind of finding a curation and then going back to like bulk buying for the buying and selling side and finding the buyers for it and really tapping into their brains on what they want in either their repacks or whatever they're doing with it, with the company, with their inventory. It's cool to like, I'm a little hard on myself too when I like lose on a card. So each week I feel like is a cool reset of, oh, if I've lost on something, did I value it wrong or did I buy a wrong card and everything? So to answer your question, like I think that I'm more generic on I'm not too picky because my buyers aren't picky, but it ranges every week. And it's kind of cool too to like get a sense of, you know, watching the football every Sunday or whatnot and then buying and seeing kind of how the market takes over. And I think that's why I really resonated with sports more than like Pokemon, because I really liked following sports every week and then seeing how the market reflects it. And I think that that was the coolest part. And I do now, since I have like a little more of a bankroll, it's been really nice to, you know, find actually what I love to collect. And the buying and selling world, sometimes people are like think that it's negative for the hobby, but the reason I can collect what I can collect now, I needed to resell for a little bit to get that money so that I can now actually build on my collection and have a passion for it.
How up to date are you? Like, are you very involved in like watching the sports and making sure like what's going on and who's the buy and who's the sell? Because of
more so for football, for sure.
Okay.
I need help with baseball, maybe from you.
Baseball is in a world of its own.
Yes.
I'm still learning like as I'm going because like I can't, there's so many players. There's so many players.
And prospects.
The prospecting,
that part is
so
you can
deep.
know baseball, but not know like who to invest in.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes.
In a year span in baseball, you have approximately through the Bowman releases, Bowman Draft, Flagship Bowman, and Bowman Chrome. You have 300 plus players.
Yes.
300 plus players to just kind of navigate and who's going to be that guy?
No,
because it's only going to be a handful of guys. And it's like, how do you attack that? Or how do you maximize on this player or sell high and move into somebody else that might be really low right now, but he's super young and he's in a good system and he's a left-handed hitting shortstop. Like there's all these like weird factors. And before...
And it's all moving parts too.
Yes. And before the pitchers didn't sell up until Paul Skeens and Yamamoto
incredible.
And Sasaki and Ohtani like all kind of helped the pitching landscape. So now like people are getting excited for pitchers.
Yes.
Where otherwise people would be like, bend that card, bend that pitcher. You know, I'd be bending pitcher autos on the live and people are like, this is crazy. You know, like what if that's the next, you know, Nolan Ryan? I'm like, well, it's not my card. He told me to bend it.
It's funny to look back on those streaks.
Yes. So it's the baseball world I'm still learning and I'm like constantly involved with like the Bowman. I call them the Bowman heads. I'm like, I'm constantly talking to these guys and I'm like, well, who do you like? This is who I like. Why do you like that guy? Oh, well, this is X, Y, and Z. And it's so the landscape in baseball is so deep.
And it's so different than the other sports because of like all of this. Like I think are all the main players on the NFL side and the basketball side. And you can kind of generally know from the time that they're in the NBA to their performance by week. But like I think that there's so many games and so many statistics that have to do with baseball that it's just another crazy world. And like even to go with the product alone, like I think the product is so different than in my head in basketball and football. Baseball is just so different for the Bowman product and baseball product in general.
Yeah, of course. What kind of we were talking about this earlier at the office. What is your take on like meeting all these new people and like celebrities and like getting a chance to like interact with these people that you've probably like starstruck, right? When you're meeting Tom Brady. Because let me tell you something. I'm a Michigan fan. I would be like drooling and like not even know what to say to Tom Brady. I would just be like staring at it, like staring into his eyes like a psycho person.
The first time I met him. I would have never guessed that I think content and social media would come to be this way. Like I didn't know that it was maybe a niche for me. I was just buying so many cases at the time, and I was like, I am in this tiny apartment. I might as well just sit on my pink rug and like show the camera what I buy every week, and then maybe that'll lead to having more vendor or like having people that come to me so I can buy their cards and everything. But I never knew to the extent it would lead to like opportunities where I'm like forever grateful for that. And it's just incredible to think that like I live now my dream job. And I never thought that with the videos that I was doing like in a year and a half ago would lead to this. But I think it's so special to see then too now. I think that this hobby is getting very more generic. And I was kind of debating this. I think that it's more so that has to do with like the timeline of Fanatics and Fanatics buying tops and Ruben being in that world. And I love all that he's done with it. Like I think that he's done it in a very strategic way where everyone is involved and everyone should feel welcome to it. And that's made it a lot more generic. And even to go into like Tom Brady being more so in the hobby now, it's just really crazy because I never thought like this nerdy job that I had would come to this extent. And then the like Fanatics Fest is like a very great example of it where I tell my friends too, they know what I do and they're very supportive, but they're confused for sure.
Of course.
I'll get them passes to Fanatics Fest and be like, yeah, this is every week.
You're going to feel like you're going to look like a celebrity to them. Yes. That's so funny. I know I try to tell like my family still, they're like, so how's this work? Like, what do you do? And I try to explain to them and they're just like, yeah, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Or even friends, they'll come in the live. They're like, what's going on?
Yes.
What are you doing? I'm like, oh, we're doing a random team break and here's spots and it's 20, whatever, 30 spots. And they're like, yeah, I just don't get it. I'm like, dude, you get a freaking team.
Yes.
And those cards from that team that's what you get.
That's what you get.
And then they still just like, yes.
I'm a live streamer that opens up packs of cards. You explain it.
Or the worst is like when you come across someone you've never met. I'm like, yeah, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a card breaker. Like I'm in the card industry. And they're like, oh, you sell cars? And I'm like, no, card, duh, with a D. And they're like, well, how does that work? I've
had to rephrase how I say it nowadays when people ask what I do for a living, where I'm like, football, basketball, baseball. Like immediately. Because I don't want the awkward, like.
If I say sports card hobby or sports card industry, they think I'm saying sports cars.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, like Ferraris and Porsches.
I'm sure also
like, no. I mean, there are Ferrari, Porsches products of hobby.
Yes.
You know, we're talking NT and Flawless. Yeah, Ferrari and the Porsche, but not actual cars. So it's just like it's a weird thing until they got to dive in.
Yes.
They have to dive in.
Oh, they do. And the people that don't know anything about it are usually very intrigued with learning that this is around, because I felt like it was like such a niche world, and now it's coming up to be something like so exciting and so cool. And I mean, you and I like had the similar background of just having like a miserable job and like wanting to seek something that is like very passionate and very like positive and has a community.
I wanted to wake up and be like, I fucking love doing what I do.
Exactly.
That's all I wanted to do. I like have to praise my wife, because I was at the time, so I started, do you know who Rizzo Sports is?
Yes.
Okay.
Out in LA.
Yes. Jeff Rizzo, shout out Jeff. Guy's been a huge influence to me. He was the stepping stone to why I'm even doing this. I mean, he literally threw me in the chair one night.
Yes.
He's like, wife wants me to take her out to dinner. You're breaking.
Yes.
And I'm like, and I'll never forget, I was shaking, I was mumbling, stumbling, I was dropping cards, whatever. He threw me in the chair. He kind of gave me the stepping stone to do my own thing. And so I credit my wife though, because I was working 2 jobs. I was driving during the day, all day. And then I was breaking from like 8 to 1 o'clock in the morning. Wow. And then I was getting up and I was doing that for, like 8-9 months.
Yes.
And she told me one day, she was like, pick one.
Mhm.
You can't do both. She was like, this one makes you
Yes.
miserable and this one makes you happy. She's
So
like,
it's
pick
easy,
one.
or it
I
should
was
be
like,
easy.
It is easy. I was like, I'm done with this one. I'm going to the cards. I'm doing the breaking because I love the interaction and connect. I love connecting with people.
Mhm.
That's like one of my favorite things. I love being the center of attention. It's sad to say, but I love like connecting with people on a different level than just like business side of things, right?
Yes.
I treat my customers as friends. I've made more friends in the hobby
Mhm.
than I had previously 10 years in my personal life. And some of those friends now, like I consider family. Like I was telling you the other day, like I met the Suicide Boys through the hobby.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they're not friends of mine, like they're family of mine. And like they would do anything for me and I would
That's
try
so
to
awesome.
I would do as whatever I could for them.
Yes.
to the capacity I can.
I think that's what it is like, I'm sure you didn't really know this when you were, driving and seeing the streams and then kind of not mimicking that, but doing your own thing in the space and streaming. You would never think that it would come to that. And I think the thing that really resonated with me is your customers are like your friends and kind of family and like chosen family. Like, I think that's how I had felt with traveling to these shows. And you have to weave out some of the bad people,
Oh, of
obviously,
course.
in
There's
any
a lot.
industry. And
there's a lot.
for sure. But knowing that you have like a little support system and you can reach out to them and they have your back is like something where that's made me stick around so much. And I value it so much. Like I'm such a people person. And I think that having an industry that's so like front facing with interactions and people and getting to know people and getting to know that we all kind of have the common like fandom of is really just cool. And it's among all else. Like I if I didn't even make a penny, I would still do what I do because I think it is just such an amazing like community.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's so big, but
Huge.
so small.
Yes.
So big. You go to the National, you're like, whoa,
Yes.
this is crazy.
Mhm.
And then you're like, I know everybody in here.
Yes.
You're like, there's no way. Yeah, I know everybody in here. Everyone knows or knows of me, but it's so big, but so small. How do you deal with the haters?
I like
Are there a lot of haters?
there are
Yeah.
surprisingly. I think kind of just women in the space. I think
I was
some
just gonna
people
say, you
are
think that's
so
yeah.
and I don't know if it's just that, but it's more so like on the bitter side, I guess, that I would get comments of like, oh, you're getting deals because of you being a girl or whatever, and like a kind of assumption. So I definitely kind of just manage it in my own ways of, ignoring it. I don't think like anything of it really. Like all I can do is be who I am. And that's being I am very into the principle of the hobby and understanding that. And I'm a huge etiquette person with the deals I do and anything that has to do with that on like stepping over people's feet with the whole like, oh, you're getting a deal or using people for this, whatever. And I think if I do that in the right ways and I can be a positive person, that's all that I can do. And if I'm still going to get hate, I'm going to get that.
Yeah.
That it's the internet, unfortunately. And
It
I'm
is the
sure that
internet.
you've dealt with that too. And
Plenty.
it has been like, it's just, you don't know what those people are going through either. So it's kind of like giving grace and you just never know, like if that's how they want to take away from their time, they can, but life's too short to like, try to address all of that as well.
Most of those people are more miserable.
Yes,
They're only bringing other people down because they're beneath you.
absolutely.
And I love that when we talk about like community and friends and stuff. Anytime that I've been attacked or try to be dragged through the mud or canceled, because it's happened before, and seeing those everyday supporters and friends
Definitely
come to your side when I really like don't have a voice at that time, and they're like sticking up for me. Like
Absolutely.
I had a guy come at me one time, and shout out this guy Will Matt and Peanutty and these guys Memmy. I'm sorry, you don't even know any of these guys,
Well,
but these guys, if someone ever came after me or does come after me,
Yes.
they're the first ones to just take the reins. And like, they're like the frontline soldiers.
Yes.
And I see it and it makes me feel so good because I'm like, okay, good. Because if I said something or if I took that, knowing me and the way I like would go at it, it would probably put me in a bigger hole.
Yes.
You know? So I'm like, oh, it makes me feel so good that you have like people that have your back.
Totally. And I think that exactly like you said, it's a great feeling to have that and to be able to just like maybe come to them and tell them the situation and then to validate it is just like so important because sometimes you can just sit with your thoughts and like, I think just also going back to like just being a woman in the hobby, like some things happen and like to have those people that can like be there for you. Exactly like you said, I have like my Gamble crew, like even though like my friends, I don't see them that often out west, but when I see them, it's all amazing. Like I have my local friends like Kurt and Bryce and then Justin from afar, and I know they'll always have my back. And I think that that's so amazing to have when a situation goes wrong or you want to, I think with the etiquette thing I said earlier, it's like sometimes you're like, was I wrong in this way? Like doing a deal or it can be even more than a deal, but the whole like backing out of the deal or like shopping around a card and, you know, not knowing the fine lines of whether it's like what you did was good or not. It's nice to have those people to call and be like, oh, was I right in this instance?
I like seeing women in the hockey. I'll be the first. I have 2 daughters.
Yes.
And my oldest, she likes the cars. Oh, they're pretty, they're nice, they're shiny. My youngest is like, can we rip a box? She's at the office. What box can we rip? And I'm like,
amazing.
It's the cheapest box in here is like $700. I'm like, let me get some megas or some blasters. And she just loves ripping. And then she's like, she'll just blow it through the box, and then she'll be like,
you got any more? Inventory for
you got any more? Like, yes. I know, I need to just like go get like a bunch of cheap stuff and just be like, yeah, just rip this. Like, let me get some haunted hoops packs or something. Like
totally.
Like she should love the hose. Yeah, but she loves it, and I'm like, I want to set her up to whatever I do, whether this takes off, the braking takes off, I do a card shop, whatever I take. Yes. I want her to be able to like take it over. And if she loves it, she can do it. If she doesn't, do whatever you want. Like, have fun with it. Because it is fun. But back to what I was saying, like, I think it's good to see women in the hobby because I went to the, used to be Burbank show. What is it called now? West Coast Card Show. And I was walking around and I was seeing a lot of little girls, like young girls. And I'm like, this is awesome.
So amazing.
Because now I'm such an advocate for daddy-daughter stuff. So I'm like, now the daddy-daughter stuff can be card shows and like going to the card shop and buying cards and packs and having that like it's little so collection special. Together. Yeah.
Yes. I think and with that being said, like I absolutely love the space with like I get so excited when I see other younger girls go and do that. And I even had like one person this summer come up to me and it was like a little girl that was maybe like 6 and she was a little shy and she came up to the booth with her dad. And it was like, this was like my turning point of like, I do what I do for this. Like, this is like so exciting where he came up and he was like, I show her your videos and like try to make her more comfortable in the space. And she's more eager to like coming to the shows with me. And I was like, that's just why I do what I do. I hope that more women feel comfortable in the space and can grow into loving it because at first it was so intimidating for me, but I don't want people to feel that way. Like I think it's for everyone and I totally respect like women in the hobby too. And I'm like so happy that there's like an evolution with it. And I hope that all the men that are there, because it's such a male dominated industry, bring their daughters or bring their friends that are girls. And I mean, it's just a space for everyone. So it's really fun to see that it's kind of grown in that way where it's not this niche all about like men. It can be anyone.
Yeah. It's intimidating to the first time I ever like showed my face.
Yes.
Because when I started, 99% of people were on Instagram. There There wasn't these apps. So I remember I accidentally flipped the camera one time on the live, and I was like, and I was haggard, right? Because back then it was like, oh, wake up, throw a hat on, just go live.
Mm-hmm.
I remember flipping the camera one time. I was like, whoa. And I flipped it back, and everyone was like first time ever seeing me. And it's like intimidating because once you put yourself out there and people start seeing you, what you look like,
Mm-hmm.
they put a face to the voice, and you start making these content videos. You just never know like the reaction.
Yes.
And
you never
that
know.
first
It's a risk.
time you're starting to pumping out content, and you're
Mhm.
like, all right, I'm gonna venture out here. I'm gonna show my face, and I'm gonna present my opinion,
Yes.
because not everyone's gonna have the same opinion. That's when it's like, you just never know. You never know who's gonna come out and be like,
Totally.
this is a bullshit take. You're a terrible
It's like-
person. I'm like, you don't even know me, man.
Yes.
Like, I've got a family.
I know. You never know when it's gonna come from left field. You're like, oh wow,
Yeah.
this person's having a bad day or something.
How do you go about doing like the content stuff? Because I know it's a lot of work.
It is.
It's a lot of work. And I tried like sourcing mine,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, this guy sucks. He's
Yes.
so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back, he's like, what do you think? And I'm like, sweet, man. And I was like, I'll just do it myself. I'll just do it myself.
I'm
It
too
takes
nice
so
to.
much time.
Yes, it does. I think I've had to kind of retrain my mindset with it, I think, and just kind of go back to the drawing board with when I first started. I think the two main tips that I started with was one, like whenever you're on for content, it's like just act like you're FaceTiming a friend.
Mhm.
And I think that's made me a lot more comfortable with it and kind of grow into being a little more lenient with my content and more comfortable on camera. And then also like the whole, like just even card shows, anything, like the whole world, not to be cliche, but it is like your playground in a
Yeah.
way of you trying to figure out maybe what's unique and what's your niche and you creating your own story. And I think that was so cool. And then the other side of it is when I edit, it's kind of day by day, but
Mhm.
I had gotten some quotes in the beginning and I was like, I don't know if I even know how people afford this. Like the filmer quoted me for like $500 a day and that's not even for editing or whatever
Yeah,
it
it's
might
expensive.
be. And I was like, I can't do that. And I'm pretty independent. And exactly like you said, getting maybe the draft back and you're like, oh, like I wish I could critique it on my own. I was like, okay, maybe I can do this on my own, but I would have to like figure out time management for sure. So a lot of my weekdays are centered around content and then weekends for shows and buying. And it makes me spread a little thin. I've been wanting to hire maybe an assistant or something like very small, but right now, I actually traded an Earl Campbell downtown for a second phone. And I was training my brain into being like, this is my YouTube phone and my content phone, and it's separate from my personal phone. So I think having those like boundaries and really like kind of resetting your brain into being like, oh, like if I'm doing YouTube, I am like, this is exactly like editing on CapCut a reel, but it's just like 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
So
I know, I use CapCut.
Yes.
I'll be sitting in bed
It's so easy.
and I'm like replaying the video, and I'll go, I'm so sorry, babe. I'm so sorry. Because she's
No.
hearing the same fucking words over and
The
over.
loop,
And I'm
like
like,
crazy.
it's like a same 12 seconds. I'm like, I'm so sorry. She's like, it's okay. It's okay. I was like, I got to get this out. I got to get it off my brain.
Mhm.
I got to get it edited, and I just got to get it out into the universe and
Yes.
just go and just be done with it.
Mhm.
And sometimes like I'll choose songs, and it'll be like hearing the same song over and over again. I'm like,
Yes.
all right, I'm done with this song. Like I'm not listening to this song for a very long time.
Oh, yes. It's like on repeat or
Yeah.
when you're in the room with someone else, like your wife, I'm sure it's like the scrubbing of like clipping and splitting the videos down and
Yes.
then like hearing that one word again and again. It was like probably like, I'm so sorry.
What's the worst deal you ever made?
Wow, that's a good question. I actually will
'Cause
never
everybody
forget this
everybody
one.
wants to know the come up.
Yes.
Screw the come up. I
I
want to know the
know.
downfall. I want to know the
That's
fall.
a good
you know?
question. Yes. There two have stood out to me. One, I bought 2 raw Bryce Young kabooms right a week before the NFL season started of last year, so 2024.
Mm-hmm.
He got benched, or he did terribly the second week, and then the third week got benched, and the card went from, I don't remember at the time, I think I bought it for $700 each, so both of them, like I bought for $1,400, tanked to around like low 200s.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was like, I should have not, like, knowing the pre-season market, the during season market, and the postseason market is so important. And I think I was just like buying. And I think I just was like, I need to learn this, like to not do this again. Like, do not buy like the over $500 or over $200 even football when the season's just about to start. But I ended up like, finally, I try my hardest to try to sell it off and it'd be fine. But in my head, I'm so hard on myself. So what I did was I graded 1 and thankfully it came back PSA 10 so I could make up for some of the losses there. And then I waited for him to, I think, be really still a strong hold on the practice squad the next season. And I sold it during the national because that's kind of peak season to sell your football or modern football. So it ramped up to be that I think I lost I could have lost $1,000. I ended up losing probably $50. Wow. Super happy with that because I was like, I don't even know if his market will reset. But kind of just knowing that. And I'm trying to think of like another one. Recently, I had bought a Jackson Dart downtown when he was like full hype. And I think knowing the population of cards and knowing like with release days, it's so high. And to knowing that when the population comes out and more packs are ripped open, the market resets for sure is I think at the time it was like a Pop 1 or Pop 2 PSA 10 for the Dart downtown. And the first one sold for $6,000. And then later on, it started being like 28 to 3K. And I bought it for like 2,300 and it started like repopulating. And so I'm still sitting on the card because people don't really want it. And it, even though they love Dart, I think the population is just so surged up there. Yeah. And I think this is like one of the last like licensed downtown. So it's crazy. I'm like sitting on it because I don't want to lose like a couple hundred, but I'm definitely going to.
They have John Harbaugh now.
Yes.
So
I heard
Harbaugh's
that.
a Giants coach. So he's going to, I think that's a great move for Harbaugh. And it's a young team.
I was watching that yesterday.
They're going to get Neighbors back next year. So
and
that's
Scat Pack, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a good move by Harbaugh.
Yes.
I think the Ravens they're going to regret letting him go.
I know.
I really do. It's going to be like Vrabel leaving the Titans, going to the Patriots.
Yes. I think they have such a great foundation. And I think one thing is kind of like what you see with Mahomes and Kelsey. It's you need to have compatibility on the team. It's not just like a team of offense and defense. And to see the compatibility that some of those players have is like really important.
Yeah. You touch on a good point. Knowing when to sell and knowing when to hold.
Yes.
And knowing when to buy, right?
For sure.
Like, I remember 23. Do you remember when they did the Tom Brady autos at a draft?
Yes.
Yes, 23 draft. I pulled one of the first. It was on release day. The Tom Brady gold auto.
Wow.
I expedited it to Sean, high in case breaks. He graded it. I had him send it directly to Fanatics.
Yes.
It was the first one to get a 10. It was the first one to sell. It sold for $46,000.
Wow.
That card today is like probably $6,000. So it's all about taking advantage of that early market.
Definitely. And the market gets actually crazy with that. Like, even though Mahomes is like a GOAT and he's won multiple Super Bowls and all of that, like he's still with his injury, like his market went down a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to see that like even a actual GOAT is still like, you just never know when to sell and when to buy. Like I even remember, I don't know if you remember this, I think it was in like 2023, the market for T-Law was insane.
Yes.
And I remember, I'll never forget this. I don't remember specifically the card, but it was like an NT auto. I think it was a 1-of-1. And I think it was around like a $50,000 card. And it is now probably like a 3K card.
Yeah.
4K card, tops.
It's all about now, right?
Yes.
What's now?
Yes.
And like,
And you learn once you you need to be, do the preseason, during the season, postseason for like maybe 3 years to kind of actually get a grasp of it, because sometimes it gets more and more dramatic every year. You just never know.
Yeah.
Like I think football, for me specifically, I think it's the most dramatic market.
well, because you have one game a week.
Yes.
If they have a bad game,
hmm
now you're like,
You have to wait.
I gotta wait.
Yes.
I need him to throw 350 yards and 3 touchdowns next week,
Yes.
or the card's going to continue to go down, and nobody's going to want it, and now I'm stuck with it. And the football market is crazy because like you have, it's so quarterback driven, and I think a lot of people don't understand that. They get built up around the hype. Oh, this guy who's the top 5 wide receiver drafted, and oh my, it's like, guys, go back and look at Calvin Johnson, Randy Moss, like these insane wide receivers that were the best of all time. And you can go and get their rookie stuff for pennies on the dollar than what you're paying for these rookie wide receivers coming out, you know, and spending all this money on these, because people just get so fixated on the what's out now.
Yes.
What is this?
Yes.
And then then they get FOMO, right? Because they're like, I didn't hit in this break. I'm just going to go buy it and just overpay on eBay or overpay on these sites to just go
and
get
like
the cards.
Set the comps, and then it's like that's also a different story where it's very interesting, like that aspect of it, and like setting the market for it with like a low pop card or whatever, and the trends that cards have been given with also the licenses. I think I was in conversation yesterday about like even the license change, like with now NBA Topps having the license and it being so important because it increases the value significantly. And having that market too. Like there's so many moving parts to the hobby.
Yeah, and then you're going to get football right around the corner.
Yes,
March 1st, it's going to be football, and then everyone's going to go football crazy. And if anybody has old Topps football wax, just hold on to it.
Yes.
Or rip it.
I know.
Because that's all going to get a bump because people are going to see, oh, Topps Chrome Football 2025 or 2026. They're going to go back and go, oh, I'm going to go get a 04 Topps Chrome Brady refractor.
Yes.
Because that Brady stuff and the Rodgers and the Breeze and the Mannings, all that stuff is going to get a bump in the space.
Yes.
Because that kind of stuff was like thrown to the wayside because Topps didn't have the licensing. Panini took over the licensing.
Yes.
Now that Topps has the
It's
licensing
like the
back, they're like,
parts.
I'm going to go back.
Yes.
Like we just ripped 08 Topps Chrome Football the other day.
Oh, so fun.
I found the best. I love the best at the shows is I go find like the guys that look like they just came out of a cave.
Yes.
Right? And they got all this like crazy old wax.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, those are the ones. I want that.
Those
I want that
are
wax.
the ones.
So I went and bought 08 Topps Chrome Football. And it's just a nostalgia rip. You're seeing names that you're like, oh my God, that guy's actually dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
no.
like that guy died.
It is like time flies.
Yeah.
And this is like the product.
Yeah.
That,
and you're just chasing like these, you're seeing like the Peyton Mannings and Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers and Brady. You're seeing all like these old quarterbacks. It's like, oh my God, this was 18 years ago.
Yes.
This box has been sealed for 18 years. And I'm getting able to open it now.
And someone's kept it for that long.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know.
Yes.
So it's just fun. And I'm excited for the football stuff because I'm excited to see like licensed Brady.
Me too.
Football autos. The unlicensed stuff when they first came out with it. And I get it. They had to come out with it. They had to put it out. But it was just like, no, don't do that. Just wait. Just wait.
Yes.
Wait a year and a half.
Just wait.
Just wait. We're getting it. It's coming out. Like Brady autos is going to be licensed. It's going to be crazy. And you know what? They're going to have Bucks and probably Patriot autos.
Yes.
It's going to be so cool and so sick to see.
I'm really excited to see the product. I feel like I haven't even done any like unveiling of what it might be. So it's cool to go into it blindsided where there's going to be like their own case hits and everything. And I mean, the product, I feel like with Topps has been so quality so far. So that's going to be really exciting. And I think that they do such a beautiful job at doing their release days and amping it up with like card shops and local card shops and doing events and really kind of just having attention to detail with that and sending celebrities or athletes out to really open it that are in the product or whatever. It's just, I think, such a cool world and such a cool time to be in the space.
Yeah, and you realize that so many people love cards.
Yes.
Because they're bringing these like celebrities in and then they start getting like really juiced up. And you're like, yeah, that's how I was.
Yes.
Like, that's how I am.
Yes.
You know, and they're like, oh my God, this is cool. What is it? And they some of them have no idea what they're doing.
No.
But then they get sucked in like everybody else. We all got sucked in. And now you see them like, you know, like Jack Caglione, the baseball player, he started ripping and now he has Cags Collects. He's got his Instagram page and he's
amazing.
like ripping cards and he's like doing all this stuff and it's cool to see.
Yes, I've seen that recently with Karl Anthony Towns and then just multiple others like Dana White even with UFC and UFC now being a Topps product. Like I've seen him grow into having his own collection and I think that's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. Is there any player, this will be last question and then I'll let you plug anything you want to do, tell everyone what's going on. Is there any player that you have FOMO over not buying?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Because like everybody has FOMO over Ohtani.
Yes.
Everybody. Because even in 2021, I was walking around the 2021 Dallas Card Show and the Ohtani numbers prices at that time were going crazy. And I was walking around and I'm going, this is unsustainable. This is unsustainable. Little did I know that from there till now, his cards would like 10x, like 10x. Like his base Bowman Chrome rookie PSA 10s are doing like insane numbers, like $3,000, which is crazy. Because you could have got them for like $250, like $300, like literally $300 in like 2021.
Oh my gosh, there are so many players where I may be watching on the screen and I'm like, oh, like I should have bought their cards. Like people have like, I've been around the shows and then people have had that product or whatnot. I guess maybe one that came to mind was Josh Allen, like maybe before last year of him getting MVP. His product, I feel like, has stayed the same in the market, but I feel like he finally got like a confirmation in the market with that. So the prices surged a little bit there. And then just how well the Seahawks are doing this year. And they obviously have just like such a solid team. Like some of those players, like Sam Darnold, like I think is...
He gets no respect.
No.
Neither does Stafford.
Yes.
And Stafford's probably going to win MVP.
I know.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. That part was interesting to me because I was like, I feel like there's some players that don't get enough respect or you're looking at their cards and you're like, this is not that valuable.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, there's a chance. Obviously, it's probably not going to happen. But there's a chance that you have like Purdy, Stafford, Stroud, and Josh Allen in the championship rounds.
Yes.
And it's like three of those quarterbacks like nobody cares about.
I know.
Like nobody legitimately cares about in the hobby.
Yeah,
you can get like a Brock Purdy NTRPA for like nothing.
Nothing.
Like a true RPA of Brock Purdy for like, I don't know, $3,000.
Yeah.
When they went to the Super Bowl,
so crazy.
They were like $27,000 when he went to the Super Bowl.
That and I think that just some of the other teams where they're like outliers and just not quarterbacks, just like you said, like it's such a quarterback market. I will like this one will be like, for example, like a football player will have like 3 touchdowns in one game and then you'll look and they're like all dollar cards or something. Or I'm like, I guess they just now are like performing, but it's crazy to see that there's not like prospects with it.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate you coming on. That was
thank
fun.
you so much for having me.
This is a good one. 53 minutes. Oh my God. Plug everything you got going on. Instagram,
Thank
YouTube,
you.
all that stuff.
Mary Gamble on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. I'm doing daily reels on Instagram and then weekly vlogs on YouTube. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Seriously.
Thank you for coming. Appreciate you here.
Yes.
Follow, like, listen, share, subscribe, do all the things you guys got to do. Appreciate you guys. We are out.
Thank you.